Good morning, guys. Today is March 21st, 2017, and we are just setting up for the market open. There's about 5 minutes left, so we'll go over some of the plays for today. The first one we have is VSR. VSR has a float of 8.49 million, and there was a catalyst out today about their joint venture. This VSR and another company, they have a joint venture together, and they were awarded $950 million contract with Air Force. So obviously for a penny stock, that's a big deal, being part of Air Force and being, having a contract from them. So that's something, potentially could rip today, especially with it being a low floater. The only thing with this is it has a high on RSI. As you guys can see, it has a RSI of about over 80, so it does look to be overbought. Plus, at the same time, the average range on this stock, so looking back at some of the previous spikes, this stock spikes about 50 cents on each day that it does move. Now, as you guys can see on the gap up, it's already up about 42%, or let's say 48 cents from the gap up. So it already is gapping up a lot. Now, based on that, I feel like this could be a little crowded as soon as the market open. So this is not something we're looking to get in right away. But if it does give us, let's say, a green to red move, red to green move, where a stock dips down, holds a solid support, and then starts moving back up, and then it just rips through the red to green move, and all the people who shorting it, start covering, and more buyers come in, and that's where we'll be looking to play the stock. Second thing we have is NSPR. NSPR is one of my favorite right now. It is a low float, only 1.16 million. They had a distribution agreement with with this company had a distribution agreement, so that's a good press release. Agreement is the key word. Their average earnings is about 50 cents, and the stock has only moved about 10, so there's still about 40 cents left. The stock could potentially move. It is very low on RSI, so that means it's oversold, or haven't been bought that much. So this is something we're looking for right out of the gates here. Third thing we have is HTBX. HTBX has a float of 21 point some million. They reported a positive interim phase 2 results. But the thing with this stock is when it gaps up, usually it doesn't really manage to do much. So with this, we're just kind of keeping an eye on it. Potential play could be, break of 125 if there's lots of volume coming in. But other than that, it's just kind of up there. Nothing that I'm super excited about. Last one is CETX. Now CETX is a has a float of 5.04 million, so low float, but it received a 1.5 million order. So that's another positive news for a small company. It is low on RSI, about 33, but not a clean daily chart. So what I mean by that is on the daily, there's a lot of moving averages right here. There's one at 350. Potential play of this could be, a break of this pre-market high for a push towards 350, and then break of 350 for a push towards 4. So that's all I'm looking for on this one. And then PTIE is another one that's, pre-market is up. There is a catalyst out on it, but with PTI, I just don't feel comfortable taking this trade right now. I feel like this could be a little bit, a bit overextended. It could get stuffed, and the range on this stock, from previous is not that not that much. So once it's already gapping up, about 58-60%, I just feel like it might just be too much right out of the gates. But we'll keep an eye on it. Anyways, markets are going to open in about 25 cents. I'm just going to pause this video, and then we'll come back once the markets are, once I'm looking to get into something. So guys, I was watching PULM on this 1 minute, but it moved pretty fast and I missed it. I had my order ready at 328, but then it just popped to 325, and then next thing you know, it was in the 335s. So I missed that entry right there at 328. Again, this is a pretty strong stock. It is something that could potentially run. I'm not gonna buy in the I'm not gonna buy up here. This was a good entry here on this pullback here. A little flag that it formed right here. That was a great entry point, and that's what I was looking for. But I wasn't fast enough to get it. And that's okay. So what we'll do now is we'll probably wait for either a 5-minute pullback on this, which would be a strong setup if we can get a 5-minute pullback. If not, then we'll basically look for a better entry, potentially, even maybe a break of 350. But I still feel like that's going to be buying a bit too high, so I'm probably just going to hold off on it. And I just missed my entry at 328. I should have been ready, because I knew that's what I was looking for, but so we'll just be watching it. No worries if you missed it. If the stock is strong, there's usually more pullbacks that follow through, and we can always look for a 5-minute pullback. We can always look for a better 1 minute setup, or another 1 minute pullback. So we'll just keep an eye on it, and then I'll bring you guys back in once I get in, or once I have my order ready to jump in. All right, guys. So about 30 minutes into the market today, no trade. Yesterday I had 3 trades within the first 30 minutes, and that's why I was down $80 on the day, because I was just moving from one to another and just jumping around like a kangaroo, and clearly that doesn't work. So what we're doing now is we're watching PULM. Remember PULM entry, we had this opportunity here in the 328s, below 330. And then from there it moved all the way up to through the 370s, and then it's consolidating and it's pulling back. What I'm waiting for is a 5-minute setup on this. What I would like to see is this drop a little, and potentially down to the 336, 350s, just kind of hang around there, and then maybe a rip back to the high of day, and then break of that could potentially lead to $4. So that's what we're watching on this here. RSI is still pretty low. It's nothing crazy. The high of this previous candle was 377. So if we do rip here, and if we do break this 374.75 level and we take out that 377, it'll open up room to the 4, and that's what I'll be watching here on that. Other than that, we're basically just kind of watching. We don't have anything else going on right now. Nothing else that kind of moving in a good way, I guess we can say. So we're just kind of watching. A couple of these stocks kind of popped up on scanner, but they were just kind of like one and done. They had one initial move and then they just kind of fell off. So nothing happening on all of these. So again, we're just watching our main stuff here, which is PULM right now. VSR, as you guys can see, just kind of didn't really break that pre-market high, 178, and now just kind of red on the day. HTBX, just hanging below that 110 level where we wanted to get in, right? And then PTIE is not doing anything. It's just dropping, making lower lows. There you go, just made another lower low. So PULM seems to be the only one that could have potential in it. I just we don't want to obviously jump into anything without it proving itself, without it giving us a good entry point. Right now I like this volume, the way it's consolidating here. There you go, it's dropping more. That's what we want to see. We do want to see it come down. Now the high of this candle is 357, so we could potentially look to get in on the break of 360. If it gets over 360, pushes up to the 374, break of that, again, we look for a move up to the 4s. So we'll watch here. Maybe I'll look to enter here on this kind of pullback. The only thing is I won't have a good support or good exit entry point, so maybe we'll just kind of watch it here. Maybe we'll just wait for a good entry out. In my opinion, I'll say would be to wait for the 5-minute setup, a good 5-minute pullback, and then move in. So anyways, we'll keep you guys in loop, and I'll come back if anything pops up or if I get a good entry point. Okay guys, I just got into PULM at 355. Now it was a 5-minute setup, started moving up on 5-minute, and basically our target is back to the high of day, 374 with my 10-cent stop. So I'll get out basically if it goes to 345. So just anywhere below this, below these 40 what you call right here, 345. If it goes back to 345, I'll look to get out. But I feel like it's a good 5-minute setup. I feel like it'll bring in some volume. As soon as I got in, it instantly jumped, and that's what we like to see. And now obviously we want to see it get back over over this 360 point. Want to see it get back over 362, which is the high of that candle on 1 minute. But we got it on a 5-minute setup, so we'll basically be just watching for a 5-minute play on this. Again, my average price is 355, which is great, and we want to see it basically get above. It's looking a little weak here. See if it get back over 350. If not, then I'll bail out. There you go, 350. Let's see if we can take out 350 here. There you go, 351. We want to see it get back over 362. I'm just gonna pause the video, guys, because it's just gonna keep running. I'll bring it in if it, whatever it's doing, I'll kind of show you guys throughout the way. So guys, I decided to sell at 348. Again, my my exit was 345. It's just not on the 5-minute. I just didn't like it. It popped over and it wasn't a clean setup. Sorry, it was a clean 5-minute setup. Look at this. It's coming right back up. So what I don't like is if it breaks, if it goes to that, if the 5-minute makes a new high, I want it to continue showing strength. I don't want it to like go red on that candle. All that is basically just shows weakness. Maybe it's just not ready to move right now, and that's fine. And we just need to recognize that, and we just need to basically cut our loss before it gets bigger. I got in at 355. I got out at 348. So I have a loss of less than $20, and that's fine. That's fine with me. Because I got in for a 5-minute setup, it just didn't work out right away. And maybe we'll have a better luck at this for a good 10-minute setup, right? A good 10-minute candle. What is this, 362? Maybe a good 10-minute candle to make a new high could potentially run back up to the high of day, and then look to break it. So that's what maybe we'll watch for it. We'll watch for on a 10-minute setup here for the break of 362, and then a potential run back up to the high of day. But again, with my loss for the day, I think as I reach 10:30 on the market time, so about an hour into the market, I might just take it easy now. I might not trade anymore. I might just watch it, just because I already had a loss on the day. That's something I wanted to go over. I made a new rule after yesterday, is that if I have a loss, I will basically stop trading. Doesn't matter if it's $10 loss, $20 or whatever. If I have a red on the board, I will stop trading, because then I'm not looking for good plays. I'm basically looking to make that money back, and that's where I end up giving away more. So name of the game now is, for this week and next week, and for another month or so, is one trade. If it's a winner, I basically take that and I book it. And then the rest of the day I just watch. If it's a loser, same thing. I take it. I don't trade again. I just watch. And if this stock does decides to run, that's okay. I will just watch it. I'm not gonna force anything. I'm not gonna jump into anything just so I can make this whatever for $18 back, just for that, because then I feel like if I do that, and that's what my mentality is gonna be, I'm gonna end up giving away another $20, and that just doesn't fit right with me. Me giving away on the first trade, losing a little, that's fine. it just didn't work out the way I thought it will. Again, with PULM, the first trade I wanted to get in was on the break of this. If I would have got in, if I had my order, let's say maybe at 3:30, and I pressed it, as it started just popping up, maybe I could have got filled, right? And if I got filled, I could have taken advantage of this move here, 30 cents move. And since we didn't get that, we just deciding to basically bail out on it, and that's fine. That's fine with me because and then I attempted to do this 5-minute setup here, as it was basically, hanging around high of day, hanging above this 350, just kind of, curling, and then the first 5 minute makes a high, and that's where I got in, because I felt like if this makes a high, we could potentially get back. My target was 374, and that's what I was looking for. As you guys can see now, it's kind of curling back up, so it could potentially take out, take that out. So we'll just kind of watch it. See what happens here. Keep you guys on just so you guys can see. Now remember, on the 10-minute, the previous 10-minute candle, the high is 362. Right? The high of this candle is 362. So maybe it'll be a good 10-minute setup, right? If it breaks this 362, gets back up to the 374, potential break of that opens up room to the 4s. The thing with here is it's either gonna just fall and basically go below 345 and just do it, or basically just change trend here, or it's gonna keep this up and start moving up back up again. In my opinion, I feel like the stock has strength. It'll probably move up rather than down, but again, we don't want to jump in anywhere here. We'll just wait for a again, we're not jumping into this. Sorry, I need to stick to my rules. We're not jumping in. I'm taking this loss and I'm just watching for now. So that's fine with me. I'm okay with watching. I'm okay with learning. You can never understand charts enough. You can never fully get a grasp of what's gonna move, what's gonna stay, that sort of thing. So, and that's what we're watching here. So. Anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna end the video here. Again, like I said, I'm not gonna be trading anymore. I'm just gonna be watching this. So based on that, I'm just gonna end my video here. We'll pick up tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll now I'm starting to see some momentum come back into the market, and now basically, as you guys can see, look, 362. It's probably gonna break 362 here. Maybe 362. I don't know. Didn't break it, double topped at 362, so maybe it needs more consolidation. Maybe it needs to consolidate a bit more before it can run. So we'll see. We'll look for that. Anyways, I was saying that basically momentum starting to come back into the markets. Maybe we'll start having better pullbacks opportunities, better follow-throughs on most of these stocks. On days where there's a lot of momentum, that 5-minute setup that I did take on this, 9 times out of 10 would potentially work. As it basically comes down, consolidates, and then rips back up. That's what I was looking for over here. So as momentum comes back into, there you go, 362. Oh, 362 is still holding. Looks to be, oh, there you go, 362 just broke. So as momentum comes back into the market, we can potentially see most of these stocks running with good follow through, with good pullbacks. So that's what we'll be watching. I'm not worried, although I had a great last week. Yesterday I kind of gave away all my profits that I made last week, and that's what I'm upset about. I'm not upset about today's loss. I think today's loss was great. It was a good, there you go, 370. Now it's finally running, finally opening up. So maybe let's go back to the 10-minute. Let's see what the 10-minute looked like. perhaps it was a good 10-minute setup. There you go. So popped over this 362, and started opening up a little. So it might, as it's curling back up, it might take out this 374, and then it'll run from there. I really, in the back of my head, I really want to see once it takes out 374 if I should jump in. But again, I think me sticking to my rules, staying disciplined, will help me long term. These little wins, these little gains are okay, but me sticking to my rules, me being disciplined, will help me in the long run. So there you go. Just broke that. So there you go. Now traders are jumping in. Again, I was a little early. Potential maybe better entry would have been the 10-minute, break of 362, and we're basically in the 380s then. But that's okay. I jumped in on this 5-minute. It just wasn't there. It wasn't ready, and then it kind of did this curl back, and then it moved up. So anyways, guys, like I said, I'm gonna end the video. As you guys saw what happened with PULM. Thank you for watching, guys, and we'll be back tomorrow.